All right. Hello, everybody on tonight's training call. Now, what we're going to talk about tonight is communication skills. Now, in our business, of course, if you wish to work this business and if you wish to make a lot of money with this business, there's some things which we need to learn. Some skills, of course, and the skills all have to do with communication. So we can have, and this is what often gets misunderstood, we can have the best product, we can have the best compensation plan, we can have the best sales funnel, we can have scientific proof of the products and whatnot, but if we don't learn how to talk to people and in the first few seconds build instant rapport, then of course we're not able to get people to actually listen to a presentation. And I'm going to go over this a little bit more in detail. Now, don't think you can learn it all in that training session. You will not, okay? But that is okay. It is a learning process. So I'm going to talk slow. I'm going to talk extra slow so that you really get it, that you really understand it. Now, I'm in the network marketing industry since, gosh, a long time. Long time. I mean, of course, with UtopianGlobal in 2008, I did also direct sales. So many years experience. And it wasn't always, of course, rosy, especially not in the beginning, until I discovered, that I really needed to improve my skills when it comes to talking to people. And I'm an introvert. So I'm not an extrovert, I'm an introvert. I'm naturally shy. If I travel, and I travel a lot, of course, usually, I am a typical person that goes into the hotel and then it closes himself up in the hotel room. Sorry, guys, if you could just, okay, yeah. So I'm a typical person that would actually not go out of the hotel room. I would actually, this is my old time, I would stay in there. I wouldn't even go out and in the restaurant to eat because I was too shy. Didn't want to talk to people. This is how I was until I learned. And of course I learned, and yeah, with that learning came, of course, also more earning eventually. So what I have today prepared for you, of course, we have this new Getting Started Right guide part 2 here, which you see here. It's going to be released very soon. Which is an amazing manual for you and for anybody who wants to become successful with our business. And that guide gives you a lot of great content, from how to set goals, how to see the big picture, to formulating your why, to formulating your story, to of course finding prospects, to talking to those prospects, etc. All what you need is actually in this guide to learn more about the company, the products. So there's really everything in here, which is really great. I'm not going to give it to you all now. I'm just going to basically show this to you so that you eventually, from next week on, you can have this in your hand, you can print it out, you can actually work with this guide. And we're going to talk a lot, of course, about to create your 1 or 2 minute speech, because this is really what our presentation is. Now, I know, and you come to our corporate presentations. We do those presentations, which are great. But those presentations are not to be for the very new person, a person who has never heard anything. Shouldn't go to those presentations, because we haven't yet first built this instant report. We haven't yet first basically have their acknowledgement that they are interested and they are open in learning something new, or they're interested in opening to see what we have. And so only once we have done this, should then they come to a longer presentation, which is really more a training. All right. So let me now stop sharing my screen, and so that you see me in full here when I'm talking. And again, it's really great to have you all there. Now, before we actually start with the training, let's have some questions or some quick questions for you guys. So when we're talking of prospects, let's look at this. Are you able to create prospects whenever you want to? And I want you really to answer those questions here to me. And you can unmute yourself. Are you able to create prospects whenever you want to? And do you have the ability to turn people into super eager prospects within moments of just meeting them? And is this really a skill you currently possess?
Yes. It's down to the mindset and the timing of the delivery and the time and place.
Very good, Sam. Very good. Okay, I'm going to test you on that. Very, very good. Anybody else? Anybody else?
It depends on the mood as well, because I can be in a good mood. If I'm in a good mood and I'm in a right environment and the energy is fine, I can actually convert people and get people my business. But if I had a bad day and my mood is different, then I know I can't. I need to stay away, because then I'll just screw it up.
Okay. More answers.
I would say.
No, go on, Peter.
Oh, okay. No, so yeah, I would say no on my end at this stage. I couldn't do everything that you just said. Claudia, I wouldn't say I could do that. I'm a little bit in Sean's camp, even in these few weeks, because I'm juggling this and ending a school year and trying to work with different aspects of it, good and bad days, so to say. But I would say right now I'm not in that space where just any given time I could just
excellent
prospect. I wouldn't say that now, no doubt.
But that's very good. That's why you're on the training. Great.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Yeah, I was going to say that from an initial conversation, no, not straight away, not to get them fully on board, but I would need to do what we'd call forming them, just trying to find out some common ground about what their needs are, what they're looking for, just in just a basic conversation, but it would take do some forming first, really.
Now that's fantastic. That's actually really good, because this is why it is so important, this training, what we are doing. Because if you are already able to create prospects whenever you want to, and if you have already the ability to turn people into eager prospects, of course, within seconds of meeting them, then you already create an advanced. You may not necessarily so much need the training. But if this is not yet a skill, then you should listen, you should take notes, and you should basically practice with us. So now just go and imagine what life would actually look like if you no longer had to chase prospects, and if you no longer had to beg them to buy the products and join the business. Only, of course, very often what happens when new people, new distributors, new affiliates go out, very often if they said something wrong or they pitch somebody, only then to, of course, feeling humiliated and rejected, of course, when somebody doesn't reply to our messages. So I'm sure you had that. You're frustrated, you're upset, somebody didn't reply to our message, somebody didn't attend our meetings. So in this training, what we are going to talk about, specifically, is a specific set of skills you can actually use to flip and turn around that situation. So you will have prospects chasing after you instead, eager to give you money, and of course, and longing to join you. This is where we want to get people to, and this is a skill set everybody can learn. And guys, if you just can mute yourself, that would be good. Then we get a clearer recording. So this is a set of skills really everyone can learn. And that's why this is the beauty about this business. Everybody can learn that. But of course, you need to take the time aside. So it doesn't matter, of course, if you're an introvert or an extrovert. As I said, I'm an introvert. It doesn't matter if you're rich or if you're broke. And even it doesn't matter if you're good looking or not, it doesn't matter. So if you're ready, of course, then let's get on this journey to actually discover those secrets to creating eager prospects really on demand. So prospecting, sometimes can be scary. And I know that. And this is the number one single point why people, when they join the business, they're all excited and then they drop out because they got rejected, because they thought that they could get people interested. They are not buying. So prospecting is scary for most of the people. That's statistics that we know that. But prospecting is an essential part of building a successful network business. I mean, this is our essentials. So, however, for most affiliates or distributors, prospecting is one of their biggest fears they have. So, when you meet prospects, ask yourself the question, do you feel nervous? Do you feel insecure and lack of self-confidence? Are you afraid of rejection? Are you? And you can answer this question. Anybody? Anybody feels nervous? Anybody feels insecure and lack of confidence? Are you afraid?
No.
This is
I'm not.
Sam.
I'm not. I'm normally a person that is quite open-minded. I've been called no holds barred because I tend to be continuous and spontaneous as much as I can, and I'm willing to learn new things to adapt in a way that I can. If whatever is given to me, I can work with it.
But that is great. But you are a great exception in the world.
Creativity.
Yes.
As much as possible.
Yes, you are self-confident, you're self-strong. Like I wasn't like this. I tell you that. Definitely
I know
not.
you said.
So anybody else? Do you feel nervous when prospecting? Do you feel insecure, lack of self-confidence?
I would say for me. Sorry, Victoria. Yeah, same thing there. I'll say for me, not necessarily the insecure part, a little nervous, only because some of the folks that even now, okay, making a list, I kind of got some names written down, but they probably heard me pitch them something before, and I'm thinking, are they thinking about that again, and so forth. So I'm trying to work through that. Not the product itself. I think the product is spot on, but the nervous part on that end, not insecure either, more so that, okay, I've come to them maybe a couple of years ago about something, and now I'm coming to this here. So I think some of that is what is in my mind as I'm prospecting folks.
Okay. Michelle, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, something similar to what Victor said, because people know I've looked at many different things before. Also, sometimes I think they may be looking at you and judging you from where you are now to the things that you may be trying to propose to them. And also with something else that I'm doing, people who maybe I might see as really qualified, they might have really high powered positions. So I'm thinking, how am I going to be able to get their attention to look at something I'm doing? So yeah, in those situations, definitely.
Well, that's very good. Then you're at the right training. We have ways how to get over that. Anybody else on the call who wants to answer?
I want to say this as well. If you've got a certain dress sense and you feel confident and you feel good, and what you project, you also get, because it's about mimicking and a mirror image. If you feel that you can mimic in a mirror and you feel confident, then you can project that to another person in order to get the right response in a way to order to fulfill their needs and to also fulfill your needs. If that makes sense.
Yes, and what of course people now need to learn is, well, what right response or what do I actually say?
Yes.
So, if you are just starting, of course, like most people out in the business, or maybe you have been, of course, around for a while, but have not had really the high level of success in prospecting, then of course it's not a surprise if you answer to any of those questions. Yes, I feel nervous. Yes, I feel insecure. Yes, I'm afraid. Okay.
I think doesn't matter if you're new or old. It really sometimes depends which event or where you are. If you get little butterflies in the stomach, it doesn't mean you're insecure, but you will have sometimes a nervous butterfly. Depends on the venue at which you are or the network. Because I network a lot in London. I do face-to-face and online marketing, both. I mean, I've got an email list of over 7,000, and we just got another 7,000 to add to this list. But that's different than going onto a presentation and or you go into a property thing. You talk to property people. Because number one, if you don't understand their business, they can put you on the spot. And you feel something's a little bit nervous. You have an underlying butterfly in your stomach sometimes. So I can't see that anybody can be constantly at the top level, because it really depends on who you speak to. You can be confident, but you will always sometimes have a little bit of a nervous feel. Depends where you are. Not 100% all the time.
Yeah. So
human nature is not 100%.
no.
I totally agree with you.
No, as humans, see, if we have not learned the skills of a certain task, then it would be, of course, entirely natural for us to feel uneasy or even scared when we're trying to perform, of course, a certain task.
Exactly.
And prospecting, of course, is not it's not an exception. You know, and once, of course, we learn and practice the skills of prospecting rejection free, our fears, of course, of prospecting then will naturally fade away and they will be replaced with confidence. But
Yes.
of course, therefore, we need to go out and eventually going to talk to people, and we need to because if we don't do it, then we're never going to gain those skills, or even with the best scripts, if we never rehearse those scripts, if we never try those scripts out, well, we're never going to get good at it. So do we have to learn new skills? The bad news is yes, just like any other profession, of course, in life. You know, network marketing or leverage sales, as we often say, requires, of course, us to possess a specific set of skills. And however, the good news is for us that we can learn the new skills. And just really think about it. When you were born, we didn't know how to walk, right?
No.
But we learned. And did we know how? And look, did we know how to use smartphones? No. So at some point of our lives, we had to learn how to use smartphones. So just like we learned how to walk and use smartphones, we can learn the skills to become, of course, effective at prospecting. And through, of course, practice, we will remove our fears and, of course, therefore increase the success and build up the confidence in the process. So, so practice really brings improvement. And it's important to understand that don't be discouraged if after learning, of course, some skills, your first attempt, and even what you learn here of prospecting, they still seem difficult. Don't get discouraged. The more we practice, the more we improve, the easier it gets. And so let me just tell you a little story to really illustrate this point here. So imagine a child learning how to write. Now at first it's damn difficult, but through practice it becomes easier and easier for the child. So it's the same when it comes, of course, to prospecting. So you really got to keep in mind that it will become easier through practice, and in time we will become more successful. Now the real problem, and this is one of my most favorite question I actually ask people, or people when they say, yes, I'm good at that. I'm good at speaking to other people. I'm a professional network marketer. Well, what seems to be the biggest problem when you face basically in building your business? What's the biggest problem? And look, I have heard many answers over the years, of course, and the most common I would say is, I don't have anybody to talk to about my business or my product, right? We know that one. I can't find any good prospects. Have you heard these ones before?
Heard that before.
Yeah. So if you find yourself, of course, currently facing these two problems, then it doesn't matter. Don't worry. Because again, I used to be stuck the very same way when I got started. So here's a just short story again. Now let's imagine that I'm a totally new affiliate distributor, whatever. And my sister just had a graduation party for my nephew, just imagine, yeah? So I go to the party, I'm brand new distributor, I just joined the company, don't know much. So I go to the party, walk through the door. Of course, first thing happened and my auntie grabs me and says, look, hey, Claudia, how are you? I haven't seen you for a long time. What are you doing nowadays? So now, because my sponsor didn't tell me what to say, what do? Of course, I make all the mistakes I shouldn't do. So I say, well, Auntie, I'm kind of my own business now. And what I do is I buy products like gold and silver wholesale, and then I sell them retail. Now, these products are really, really special. So you really can't get them in the stores, and you need to know somebody that will sponsor you in. So I'm in a kind of building my very own distribution network now. And what do you think my aunt is going to say? Well, selling trucks or what is it basically, right? So, but this is how it goes most of the time because they don't know what to say. So then, of course, what's happening to me, I'm thinking, that didn't really go so well. And so I made a complete fool of myself. Okay, so what do I do is I go to the buffet and I probably get something to eat and get something to drink. And then, okay, another tip on my shoulder. Now is my cousin or whoever, and same deal. Hey, Claudia, what are you up to? I haven't seen you for a long time. So, and I'm already thinking, I just did a mistake there. So what do I say? So what do most people do? They say, look, I'm with company wonderful and the headquarters are wonderful and the company owner is wonderful and he has such a good card and look, and he wants to clean up the ocean and he is really wonderful and has a wonderful experience, built many other companies before and is a really wonderful, successful businessman, and we have a wonderful commission plan. In fact, our commission plan is so wonderful that it has created many, many top earners. Come, let me show some pictures of the wonderful trips we did together, and everything is wonderful, wonderful. I mean, this is a little bit exaggerating, but this is how a lot of people explain, and that's not the way we have to do it. Because what is the prospect thinking? Oh, you joined a cult, you joined a sect or whatever, right? And the prospect is probably thinking of, my cousin in this case, and if I join with you, I would just sound as stupid as you do, right? So I think to myself, well, you know what? I got just enough humiliation and embarrassment for one party. I'm out of here. And so where do I go? I go to another place where I'm by my own, maybe have a drink, and maybe I head down to the mall in the first restaurant I see, whatever. And what happens? Waiter comes, we start talking, we start actually good small talk, nice chatting, until the question comes from the waiter, by the way, what do you do for a living? Oh, and now, of course, what's happening? I'm just got from that party off where I just was a totally disaster. And I just freeze and I'm, staring basically blankly. So pretty soon the waiter probably says, well, I know. So yeah, you're one of those people who don't talk. So, but it's just because I have been so embarrassed because I didn't know what to say. So, and that, unfortunately, really get it into your mind. That is the day where most people quit. They quit. They quit. That is why most people in network marketing quit, because they haven't learned what to say. They don't. And so this is why nobody should join the business, meaning, yes, you should join a business, but nobody should go out and talk to people before he doesn't know what to say, at least, and rehearse go. I mean, of course, it's not going to be great in the beginning, but at least you have an idea. See, I think we're starting to see where the problem is, folks. Yeah. So it's not that we don't have anyone to talk or that we can't find any good prospects. That's not the case. It's actually the opposite. We meet potential prospects daily. I mean, on our daily lives, the real problem is that we don't know exactly what to say to those people when we meet them. So what's the solution? The solution is actually simple. We need to be able to talk to these people in a way that bypasses their mental defense program, because we have a mental defense program, so that we speak directly to the decision-making part of their minds.
Mm-hmm.
To the decision-making part of their minds, yeah? So, but now that we know there is actually a real problem, and where the problem lies, of course, we can start to fix it, of course, by learning those necessary skills that will turn our prospects into superstars. And this is where the basic starts with the power of words. So I very much vividly remember when I first got started in network marketing, I was taught to make a list. And of course, a list of my family, of my friends, and of course, that's what I did. And I made a list of a lot of people, and then I start talking to each of them. Now, I worked as a waitress in the evening. I worked in the morning at a day job. Do you think I had credibility? Not really much. So cut the long story short, nobody joined my business. And so probably I just got my mother a account, but that's it. Nobody joined the business out of my family. And so that is the reality. But, you know, that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that everyone else told me no. And of course, I didn't give up. Why? Because I was motivated. I was excited. I loved the company, what they are doing, the products. I was really intrigued by the information. I just loved it. And so after all, of course, I then had been to a company training, and of course, and so on and so on and so on. And I went to other company trainings, and I even went to company trainings. Boy, this was a Mary Kay events. I remember that in Canada. I wasn't Mary Kay, but I was just going to their events, and they were singing and they were dancing and they were motivational songs, and they screamed positive affirmations. I mean, it was crazy. But again, you know, even so motivated people eventually going to quit if they are not learning a few skills. So of course, what did I do? I went and go and made new friends. But of course, what's the problem? My new friends I made also did reject me. So they didn't join my business either. So I finally learned that finding the new prospects wasn't actually the problem. It was, what did I say to them? The way I talk to them. And of course, the solution is there. The solution eventually, I studied the top guys in network marketing, and I came across Tom Biggle-Schreiter. And I believe through Tom and of course Tim Sales, but mainly through Tom Biggle-Schreiter, I really learned those few words, what you say, and how you can grab attention to actually a total stranger, how we can do that. And I learned a lot of skills through him, and of course, because of learning these skills, you know, now today I really don't care who the person is in front of me. Even Mr. President Putin back then, when I served him in the restaurant, when I still worked there, but I had already got rid of my first-time job, I approached him. So, you know, I showed him our gold coin. Yes, I did. I got even a present. Okay, he didn't join, but yes, I did. I had no fear. So just about, that's a true story. Now, solution. I started, of course, once I learned writing those different words, which I was taught, and, you know, it went better and better. And then through a series of experience, I discovered certain things about the human behavior. Key number one, I would say, is humans are creatures of reaction, right? We are sort of, we react. Yes, we do react. This means, of course, whenever someone tells me no, they're simply reacting to the things I say and I do. So for example, if I go out and approach a total stranger on the street and I wave and say hello, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Total stranger.
It's going to either wave back or not.
We'll think you're a nutter.
Yeah, but usually,
No wonder the people walk a mile around me when I smile and wave.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
London, yeah. But they
Yeah.
usually may wave back.
Yeah, automatic. It's a reaction. Normally, it's a reaction. You get a reaction back, meaning you get probably somebody waving back. They may think, what did they wave for? Where do I know this person from? And so on. They puzzle. They, look a little bit, can't we remember where we met before? But they still wave back. It's a reaction. Yeah. They, however, really say hello back. So now, what if I did something different? What would happen if instead of saying hello, I actually shouted at this person? What might happen? Would that stranger wave at me and say hello? Probably not. So why is the difference in the reaction? It's because of what I said, which did cause a different reaction from the very same person. So key thing number 2, I found out, people love people who talk about them. People love people who talk about them. So the mistake I made was that every time I talked to a prospect, I focused on talking about the features and the benefits of the company, the products, the opportunity. In short, I was just focused on pushing my agenda. Yes, the prospects, of course, felt that and it felt it didn't care about them and was just trying to sell them into an idea or into something. So once I shifted that focus of my conversation from talking all about the company, the products, listening to my prospect, then of course they felt I cared about them, and then they started to open up and tell me about the problems they were facing in their lives and why I should let them join my business. So just imagine, all I did was change a few words I used, and I had flipped the situation around. So what happened next? Of course, after that, I started making money. And all I had to do was change the words I use. That was the missing link. People had not been turning me down since then. And they were, of course, turning down how I presented my business to them. That's clear. But they didn't turn me down. And of course, eventually I was be able, after, of course, a year, quit my first job, which of course my professional work, and then eventually I was being able to quit my second job. So in conclusion, humans are creatures of reaction, and our prospects are not an exception. So if everyone we talk to is telling us no, when we present to them that, then we really have to look at ourselves, because then we have to look at what do we actually say. How can I change the way what we say? Because then we will get different results. And of course, the good news is that changing to better words is, of course, entirely with our control. We have the control over that. So let's go further. What business are we in? Okay, what business are we actually in? We always get the question, and what business are we in? As we already know, of course, different words and phrases will get different reactions, yes, from our prospects. Some words and phrases will put them, of course, on an alert, and they raise their mental defenses, while others will bypass those defenses. And that brings us, of course, to the essential point. What business are we really in? And when we ask this question, most network marketers would give answers such as, I'm asking you, what business are we in?
Distribution.
Next. It doesn't
no
matter. So you guys it does not matter. We are not judging here. We are here to learn. Yes. What business are we in?
Well, I'm in
to
a
help each
relationship.
other.
Sorry, Sam, go. Go, Sam.
Okay, to help people to develop into new avenues and to get a good set of skill sets that we can all benefit from in the future ahead. Or is that too long?
Next.
I'm in a relationship business. I'm building a relationship with my prospect, my people I introduce. That's what I mean. I'm in a relationship business. I'm not selling a product. I'm building a relationship with people to trust me and come back to me.
Next.
Helping
Anybody?
people protect they're helping people protect their current and future, some of their current and future income or money.
Anybody else? This is exciting.
Also, we're in the business of educating them because we don't know what the future holds, because we know the coronavirus has been here and it's given them an education so that if this comes around again, they'll probably be more in tune to what we're doing instead of working for the corporate world than being ripped off by the corporate world.
You can also say wealth preservation if you look at the products. But if for me personally, it's not the products. It could be any type of product. I'm in a relationship business where I build trust.
People business.
Yeah, people business. Because that's how we make ourselves from people.
Humans. All good, but that's not the one I'm looking for. But all good.
You're far away.
All good. I love it.
Claudia, I bet this is so simple. We didn't even say it in there. We didn't resonate with you enough to come to the conclusion.
Yeah, we are in the decision-making business.
Oh, look at that! They were so close. Oh, you're so close, Sean and Michelle.
Yeah, we are in the decision-making business. If you ask me, as network marketers, we are not in any of those businesses like helping, or some people say, whatever, their skincare or nutrition or healthy or travel business or wealth business or savings business. No, because our companies, UtopianGlobal, is in the wealth business, is in the savings business, is in the gold business. We are not, because we don't work for the company, right? We don't. We are not their employees. I was once upon an employee for the nutrition company, yes, but that I worked part, but I'm not. So the company doesn't need us to develop a website, design a brochure, do product research, development, packages, whatever they, our network marketing company needs us to do one thing that they cannot do, okay? They need us to get people to make decisions to be customers, buy the product, or to be affiliates and build a business with the company. That means we are in the decision-making business.
Okay, that's fantastic. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Now,
and Claudia.
Yes, Dr. Blue.
Claudia.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Yes. I like to share it this way. According to what you're saying, you're right on it. That's why I like to share with people that we're in the showing and telling business, because when you understand it from that perspective, that we show and tell, we get good at that. I mean, you're giving some great insight as it relates to why it is we need to understand our approach. And when that doesn't work, we get to change the approach, because everyone needs our product. We got to be convinced about it. And that's what I love about it. Everyone needs it. The question is, how do we get them to see it? Yeah. And the only way we get them to see it is by showing and telling. So again, I'm in agreement. This is powerful. Thank you for sharing as you're sharing. But that's how I like to say it, which is still in the lines of the fisherman business. But it's about the showing and telling. So awesome.
Yes, I like the fisherman business. That's good. So let's see it from a skeptical perspective, that we just really confirm what I just said here. Yes. So think about this way. Now we can cut pictures and paste them, of course, on our vision board, which we should do. I mean, everybody should have a vision board. We can set up amazing goals, and we're going to do goal setting sessions. We can do motivational songs all day long, right? We can do affirmations all day long. We can go out, we can look for prospects, we can hand out flyers, we can hand out samples. I have done this, just to let you know, in Canada, Ontario, back then, and in Vancouver. I mean, gosh, the amount of flyers, 12 years I printed for UtopianGlobal with the gold. I mean, it's crazy. But I did all those stuff. Just so you know, I did it. So handed out those flyers, samples, and so on. And you can even invite prospects to attend, of course, the opportunity meeting. These are all great activities to do, don't get me wrong. But unless our prospects decides to be our customers and business partners, we are not going to make any money. As simple as that. We have to get our prospect to make a yes decision to do business with us. If not, we're not getting paid. The company is not going to pay us. Now that we are clear with it, that we are in the decision-making business, we can focus on, of course, what is important. Yes. We don't have to stress about memorizing the flip chart presentation or the PowerPoint presentation. We don't have to redesign the brochure or even laminating the compensation plan chart. We don't. We can do all those things more later. For right now, our immediate task is to get prospect to make a yes decision. So how do we do that? How do we get them? Now, of course, and this is really what fascinates me, this topic really. There's no doubt that decision-making is essential in human behavior. In fact, we make, of course, countless decisions on a daily basis. For example, we need to decide what we eat, where we go, what we buy, what we not buy, and the list goes on, of course. So if we want to make money in network marketing, we need to find out how people make decisions. How do they make decisions? To be more exact, we need to find out how our prospect makes decision to buy our product, take advantage of our service we are offering, and of course, joining our business. So now, of course, I have some good news and I have some bad news for you. The bad news is that most of us never learned how to make decisions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Furthermore, when it comes to a topic as complex as decision making, we can't learn everything in one day. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. So on the other hand, the good news is I'm about to give you a crash course, a fast course on how people make decisions. So to be able, of course, to guide prospects into decision making, or into decision-making decisions. So we must first understand what our prospects are actually thinking when they meet us. When they meet us, what do they think? When we talk, or when we take a look into the mind of our prospects, we will see that there are 5 basic questions, and I want you to write you down. There are 5 basic questions that everybody will mentally go through when they encounter us. There are 5 questions. 1, who are you? Who are you? When we come into contact with somebody, our minds automatically try to piece together a pre-existing information we have on that person. This is natural, and just that the way the human mind, of course, works, because we have this survival program that are deep rooted in our subconscious mind. It is survival. So our prospects, just like everybody else, are going to judge us the moment they come into contact with us. In this same moment, they're already going to judge us. But of course, don't worry too much. Although, of course, having an outstanding personal brand, some people have, helps, but it's not necessary to start our business. So let's say if you're working currently on building up your personal brand, great, continue to do so. That will help you in the long run. But for now, we can learn some really cool skills so that you build instant trust with our prospects, so that they believe the good things we say, even if we are not celebrities, even if we are not influencers, even if we are not whatever pinup models or whatsoever, or even if we are not have an outstanding brand. Question number 2, write down, can I trust you? Well, we can have the best product in the world and we can have the best compensation plan in the history of the world. But if our prospects do not trust and believe us, game over. And don't need to even start with our presentation. So the difference between amateurs and professionals, and we all want to learn how to become a professional, is that professionals know that when we talk about our business or product, the first few seconds are crucial. It's in those first few seconds our prospects are going to either trust and believe the good things we are saying, or they put directly walls, they close their arms, and they don't want to listen. They're not listening. Now, question number 3, am I the prospect interested in what you're saying? Am I interested? And there's an old saying that the person who can capture and hold attention is the person who can effectively influence human behavior. Now, that may be true, but the problem is we live in a world of just too much information. Every moment of every day, we are being bombarded with tons of information. Due to this constant bombardment, of course, our minds, they subconsciously narrow down and get us to focus on what is important to us. And this is how the human mind works. And our prospects' minds, of course, is not different. Why would it? So as you can see, grabbing that attention from your prospect, they actually listen to it and they lean towards you. This is, that's a skill which we all can learn. Now, not only that, oftentimes we only have, of course, just a few seconds actually that the prospect will decide if they want to pay attention to us or not. I mean, this is really sometimes just a few seconds to grab their attention. This is harsh, this is sad, but it's true. And this is how the human mind works. Do we like it? No, but this is how the human mind works. Question number 4, write it down. Do I want it or do I not want it? Now, this is going to seem very weird to many of you, but here it goes. Our prospects are going to make their final decision if they want to buy or join before they have all the information. They make the decision before they have the information. Yeah, they don't need to know it all. So this may be sounding weird, but don't worry, we have, and of course, case studies here that show you how this actually works. Now, this can be either good or bad news for us. So if we are amateurs and don't know how to handle the first 15 seconds when we talk to a prospect, then we will just have to suffer when our prospects don't show up in our meetings. That's just the way it is. Or when they come up with objection after objection after objection. But the good news is that if we are professionals, if we become professionals and we can handle the first initial 15 seconds when we talk to our prospects, then the rest of the conversation, of course, will be easy and our prospects will be listening to our presentations. So without walls of disbeliefs in them and without, of course, those walls of disbelief and looking for reasons to join instead of reasons not to join, right? So question number 5, when people make a decision, or prospects make a decision, is, yeah, I want this product or I want this opportunity. Can you give me some more information so I feel better about this? This is where we can show, of course, the various products. We have a talk, we talk about the opportunity. We can now invite, only now, we can invite them to an opportunity presentation such as we are doing. That means that our prospects will now decide if they want to do this business with us or not. And you can actually even do that before they see the full scope of the presentation. Fair enough? I guess yes. So this is how the human mind works. And you find it hard to believe, or most people find it hard to believe, that prospect makes their final decision before the presentations. In the next, of course, training, we're going to talk more about that, why this is so. But let's look at some case studies, how our human mind works. And I worked a lot with Bob Proctor on our human mind. That's why I became certified eventually after years working with Bob Proctor. So I think I worked 7 years with him in total. So case study number 1, okay, how the human mind works. Let's say we are hungry. So we go into the restaurant and we eat. We look through the menu and we decide we have chicken. Dr. Blue, we have chicken. So of course, only if half of your family is not there. I know, just have a little bit of fun. So let's say we do that. So we look through the menu, we decide we have chicken. Do we worry if the chicken lived a happy life before I was killed? Maybe I do, but most people don't. Do we ask if the chicken farm that produced the chicken was debt-free? Do we think about whether the farmer was a wonderful family man? No. We decided that we would order the chicken without a long presentation of full facts. Is that correct or no? Would you agree?
That's correct.
I
Because we trust what we're given, and we believe that's so. How is
Just what we
produced
want,
and
isn't it?
contained is a matter of choice.
Now you want to have a case study number 2? How about when we are on a video streaming website and we are browsing around? How many seconds before we decide if we want to watch a particular video or not?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3 to 4 seconds, something like that.
Between 2 and 10 seconds, a human mind is made up if it wants to watch the movie or not. If it's a YouTube, 10 seconds max.
Yeah, it's usually between 5 seconds. So in just a few seconds, we decided whether we do or not watch the video. Did we need a full presentation with all the information about the video? No. So why should your prospects be different? They're not. So case study number 3. Have we ever received a telephone call from a telemarketer? And how many seconds into the telephone call before we make our final decision? The truth is, most of the time we make a no decision before, of course, he even finishes the first sentence. Is this right or not?
True?
Yes.
True.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, definitely.
So we made a final decision before the presentation even started. Now, here's an interesting question. If we are doing this to telemarketers, don't you think our prospects will do the same to us?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, of course.
It depends how it's delivered.
Yeah. So case study number 4, I have a few more. We go shopping at a supermarket. What do? We grab a shopping basket and we start walking, right? We come to the fruit section, the right in front, maybe, or the apples or bananas. Do we check to see if they have a company video telling us about the apple farm? Do we stop to the background check of the apple farmer? Do we ask if the apple farm is listed on the stock exchange? No, we don't.
No.
We make an instant decision. Yeah, we buy,
we go
right?
with our guts. Yeah, we go with our gut instinct. We know that everything's produced and fresh, and we don't have to pick it, and everything's taken care of. And we trust that person to deliver, so that we make a decision that we know that's okay.
Or otherwise we just bypass and we don't take the apples if we don't like them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So another case study. What about shoe shopping? This is my favorite because I love shoes, so believe me. So this shoe store has over 300 shoes. Woman comes in, I come in, check it through, go out and take a look around. Don't like anything, I walk out. So what just happened? 300 no decisions in a matter of seconds. 300 no decisions in a matter of seconds. So I wasn't shown a flip chart explaining the benefits of the leather, of that the shoes are produced using patented process that nobody else has. I wasn't. I made my decision. Case study number 6. Imagine someone comes up to us and says, well, I have an airplane. Now coronavirus, imagine, but I don't know how to pilot in. I've never taken a fly lesson in my life, but it's okay. Let's get all on board the plane, fly off, and I figure out how to pilot this plane along the way. Are you in? Of course you're not. You don't want to die. This is a very quick decision making, right? So due to our programming, our survival program, we made that immediate decision before we heard the details. We didn't wait for him or her to tell us that we had watched an online video about how to pilot the planes and that he had, of course, 0.3% success rate before the plane would crash. We didn't, right? So it's interesting. Now, case study number 7, and then I'm over with those studies. What about relationships? Have you ever entered a relationship without having all the information first? Okay, well, the last one might be a little sensitive for some people, but
my camera's on and I just shake my head.
it's maybe a little bit, but are we starting to see the trend? we can see from our case studies that we human beings, we make decisions almost instantly before our presentations and not after. So what does it all mean to you? When we are talking to prospects, what we do in the first 30 seconds is everything. In that first 30 seconds, our prospect minds will go through the following. Step 1, who are you? Step 2, can I trust you? Step 3, are you interesting? Step 4, do I want to do business with you or not? Yes, our prospects are going to decide if they want to do business with us in the first 30 seconds. And this is how fast it happens. And only after we take care of step 4, then and only then we can move on to our presentation, which happens then in step 5. Step 5, if I want it, give me information. This is a step where we talk about products and opportunity. And this could include, of course, then the name of the company, the benefits of the product, how much the product costs, how much money they can make with the opportunity, the different levels of entry, the training support the team will provide. So as we can see, the first 30 seconds when we talk to our prospect is so important, because that is when they will make their decision. If we want to be successful, of course, in leverage sales and network marketing, we need to learn how to handle that initial 30 seconds well. And this is the key difference between an amateur and between a professionals. What if they make a no decision? Well, simple. If a prospect makes a no decision the first 30 seconds, then we're done. There's no need to torture the prospect with a 3-hour-long presentation of the facts and figures. We don't have to keep calling the prospect endlessly. Neither do we really have to irritate the prospect further by sending hundreds of text messages. We don't need to. Now, do we have to follow up? Yeah, things change. So we can find a way how to follow up with the person. Definitely, yes, for that one. So in conclusion, as professionals.
So Claudia.
Yeah, go ahead.
Claudia, Dr. Blue here. One of the things that I do whenever I'm dealing with someone who may say no or may not be ready, what I love about what our company offers is I invite them, I try to give them a free asset accumulation plan. And generally, 9 times out of 10, when I do that, people tend to loosen up a little bit, because, most people want something for free.
Mm-hmm.
And then I show them how that right now you're not ready. Okay, I get it. There's some more things you want to do. So how about this? And I only do this at the end. I never lead with the free asset accumulation program. I give them the asset accumulation program or on the end. And then once they are in the system and they begin to see it, now depending on where the person is, I may fund it, I may not fund it. In essence, I may put the $25 in, I may not. And if I do not, and they do it, then already on the back end, you can swing back around and probably move that person from a customer to a business owner. So you're absolutely right. Within the first 30 seconds, even if they say no, we still have a tool that we can give them. Now, what happens if they say no to a free program? Just walk away. Let it be done. Not rudely. You understand what I mean, everybody. But guess what?
Yeah.
Don't try to talk them into it, because if they don't take something free, then they're certainly not going to pay for it. But we have that privilege through the asset accumulation program to say, okay, I see right now you may not be ready, so let me go ahead and give you a free account, let you see how it works, and then we'll talk about it a little bit later as you begin to see yourself in the position to save. It works.
So Dr.
Hopefully
Blue,
that helps anybody else.
I hear what you're saying. That statement is giving people value, which is so needed, yeah? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Because what it's doing is it's allowing them to see that our company has such great offerings that even our free account, on our free account, it is for their good, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because
they can relate to that.
Right. They want to know what's in it for me. What's in it for me?
Exactly.
That's what they want to see.
Yeah, because they love free. That's why.
Absolutely. But I don't lead with that. You don't want to lead with that, because you don't want to throw in a whole bunch of free accounts and you're not making any money, because if the company doesn't make any money, you don't make any money. So I use that as the card in my back pocket. If I'm talking to somebody and I see, I see right now this may help you for this sake. And I don't share with people that anybody can do a free account. I give it away as a gift. I give it away as a gift. Hey guys, I'm going to give you a free account, and when you're ready to fund it, only $25. It helps.
Yeah, and when they see the value of it, then they come running back to you and saying, "I want some more information," and then eventually they forget their inhibitions and they sign up.
Absolutely. Because when a person sees that it works, it's all about results. We only do what we do because of the results. When people see that it works, then they indeed will work it. So thank you, Claudia. I do want to add that point. I thought that was a very good point.
Yeah.
That within that first 30 seconds, we still have a tool that we don't leave nothing on the table if we don't have to. Thank you so much.
It is a fantastic point. Now, we are getting to over 1 hour here already, and I apologize for that. I need another probably 3 hours in that crash course. So the question is, here's the question. Do you want to wait until next Thursday to continue, or are you okay with continuing tomorrow? I mean, I can go ahead for another hour, but I think it's too much.
Okay.
Are you okay to continue tomorrow or the day after?
What time are you thinking? I've got a Zoom at 8 tomorrow evening UK time. What time are you thinking?
At the same time, so Victor and Erica,
so about 10,
Audrey and Gary can join from the States.
Yes, that's fine. I'll be there.
So
what time?
Yeah, what time?
I would say the same time as today.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Great. You're on.
That'll work for me.
Okay.
Because there's quite a few things which now we want to go into, of course, what we say and so on, and so I just need more time for that. But you already get the theme now. I think was this lesson valuable to you today?
Definitely.
Certainly
Yes.
was.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
I love Dr. Blue's attitude.
Is that Dr. Blue?
I'll tell you what, he made a very simple statement that resonated with me. I know that you don't, Claudia. Impressive, 100%, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is the difference. We got to learn. It really, and it doesn't matter then. We all have to learn those few skills, and once we all learn them and we really try them out and we really do that, apply. I mean, wow, we can build huge, amazing businesses. The unfortunate thing is in our business is in network marketing, people either not willing to learn that, or they simply are not shown that by the people who introduced them, because maybe they were not shown because they don't know. And so now we can actually teach that, and if you are willing to learn that, well, you can become an absolutely master at this, and of course make a lot of money, so and help a lot of people. So thank you guys, everybody. I'm gonna of course put that up on the YouTube so that you can listen to my words again, and of course to all your contributions, and we're going to continue with that tomorrow, so that we have in the next 3 or 4 days that mini crash course, and from then we can rehearse and do it very interactive, that you two pitch me and I do pitch you, and we do all those different rehearsals once we know what to say. Yeah.
Hey, Claudia,
Fantastic.
let me ask y'all something real quick. Ironically, I got 2 to 3 people I got to follow up with tonight. Any particular, just quick little tips? They've all gotten a quick like text message, like kind of I thought that would be a good way before I could just willy-nilly call them, just say, let me just randomly call them. I kind of gave them a text message. Hey, hope everything's going well. I'd like to talk to you, a little pitch on the text message. And now the follow-ups happen somewhat tonight. Any ideas as far as just how to handle when I get ready to do the call? I wanted to kind of have an appointment so I could kind of call them as opposed to just randomly call out of nowhere because I haven't talked to them in a while.
Yeah, so you already did build like the report, like,
yes.
So you know how most people live paycheck to paycheck, most people have, whatever. So you built that, and you already said about, so basically what you already said, what you do about, or what business you're in?
Yes. I've done that and everything. As a matter of fact, I think specifically, hey, Christian, hope all is well with you and your family during these unusual times we're going through. I wanted to briefly touch base with you to update you on something I'm doing that may be of help to you and or your family as well. Please let me know what time this evening, this is a couple days ago, between 5 and 9 p.m., that you have 5 minutes to talk. Take care and look forward to talking to you soon. That's in essence what I sent to some folks there. It didn't really tell them fully, just that, hey, would love to talk to you. I kind of go something your way. So it didn't go all into gold or silver, nothing like that. It's just more or less to say something that may or may not help you. And hey, can we talk sometime? That's basically what they were given.
Okay, so basically, when you then start your presentation again, or when you basically get back with them, you can basically just again build this report again. You know how prices have really increased lately since the virus, for example, and that's why most people, now would actually like to have another income, or would be useful for them to have another income. Do you also feel that things have gotten expensive? So you just do this little report building again. And he said,
right.
look,
okay.
Yeah, and then you could basically say, the business we are in, or what I really wanted to talk to you about is I show people how to have a second paycheck so they don't have to stress about the money. If you want to earn an extra $500, for example, or what you basically with our business to do, because I'm in the wealth building business, what that means is we help people to save and accumulate real income producing assets which pay them residual money over a long period of time. Or you could also say, well, I'm in the wealth building business, which means we show people how to make money through converting their paper currency, which buys you less over time, into gold or silver, which is stable, so that you don't have to worry about inflation. Oh, sounds interesting. So I can actually give this to you. I can flip this over to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can send this to you. So this is what I would say. Or you could say, look, I'm in the lifestyle business, which means we show people to have a better life by working smarter instead of harder through accessing and gaining from the same wealth, accessing and gaining from the same wealth building strategies the rich people use. And then the person's probably going to say, well, tell me more about it. What do you mean? Well, if you want to earn extra, again, $500 a month, all what you have to do is, number one, don't change. Continue to recommend and promote the same things, like you anyway do, like your favorite restaurant, your favorite movie. Number two, what we do is we show people to save and accumulate in real assets, such as gold and silver, so that over time, you have more money in your pocket instead of losing by holding on to your dollars, which is buying you less and less. And number three, all you have to do is help 3 families a month to also save and accumulate gold or silver so that they can have more money in their pockets. And that's it.
And remember, if you do get a no doesn't mean never. It's just
Right.
not now. And as Dr. Blue say, you also have a magic card you can play.
Yeah.
Keep the magic card, but then remember, never see a no as, I'm never going to do anything. It just means just not now. But that not now, you can change that with as Dr. Blue suggested as well. You can use your magic card at the end.
And then I have a closing. Victor, then I have a closing at the end. And then I say, and that's it. Really, how you mean that that's it? Well, and that's it. Now, you don't have to find those 3 families or 3 people right away. Pace yourself. You can take a month, you can take a year, you can even take 10 years. Most people, when they first get started in our business, don't know how to find those 3 people or what to say to them. And this is why we have an education system that shows us exactly how to do this business step by step. So just like we learn how to walk, just like we learn how to read a book, we can learn how to do this business. And that's it. The rest is up to you. So what's going to be easier to you? I'm asking now more closing questions. So what's going to be easier for you? To continue struggling with one paycheck? Or to start learning a system for your new business so that you never have to show up to work again. For example, there's many other phrases you can use, but this is what we have in our PowerPoint. I have a PowerPoint there with many examples. What's going to be easier for you? you know, struggling to go to work and be overtired and not getting that desired pay rise because of all what happened, or looking for something to do now and start learning, you know, to build a business for you, or, you know, just basically what's going to, it's an amazing question. So what's going to be easier for you? Because all what you're doing is you then, with the person, basically the person told you what they're doing, you have built a report, and you know what their problems are, and what their desires are, what their struggles are. And so now I say, look, what's going to be easier for you? Living the same way you're living and continuing to complain about the rising prices and the economy and whatnot, or making a change now.
Yeah.
They say if you can't change the things in your life, then you'll never change, will you?
Mm-hmm.
And just for people on the call as well, so I do want to get to the files. We do have the UtopianGlobal affiliates group on the. You log in via the web laptop or desktop computers will be on the left-hand side, say files. If you're on your mobile phone, you'll see there's a discussion, file, announcements and file on the top part of your phone. Just scroll to files, click on it, and you'll see all the PDFs and all the PowerPoint files in there as well. So we'll have the tools in the one place.
Yes. Oh, yes, by the way, Andy mentioned tonight when I was speaking to him that you got a leaflet, yeah?
Yes, we have. I've got one which I designed.
I suggested something to him because, you know, because you're so environmentally friendly, why don't you utilize the back page and put all the listing of all the Zoom calling and the people's addresses so they can log into those areas and get ebook information, and that way you can have everything double-sided and to get more interest and build up the business in a different way as well.
Okay, I'll speak to Andy. Is coming over tomorrow, so he can explain to me.
Okay.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much. It was great. And Victor, I'm going to send you like all this, what we have talked about, it is going to come out in a ebook for you as well. We also going to do a audio version of that, a podcast version of that. So all your folks, this is all going to come. Don't you worry. The Getting Started Right guide is also going to come out, the new one, next week, or maybe by the end of the week. Yes, you're all going to get it. You can listen over and over. You're going to be tired of my voice. And we're going to have Dr. Blue recording it in his American voice because he's tired of my German voice.
And I'm gonna put it on Spotify.
Spotify.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Claudia, we love your voice, Claudia. No, you're fine. I don't have a problem helping anyway, but no, you're good. You're good.
So this is going to be like a great ebook. Will it still have, say if we give out people ebooks, will we have our login details like the link that we send to people?
Yeah, it will be in our back office. We will have it in our back office.
You will have the manual write it on your ebook. I'll show you how to do that.
That's good. That's good, because when people click on that, they can know it's coming from you with pleasure. Yeah.
But we also have it in the you will also have the guides in the back office, and you will have the and so we will have so the podcast. I don't know how this yet works, so I'm not a technical person here, but
so there's a number of things like podcasts, ebooks, presentations. Everything's going virtual. Yeah, there won't be no paper.
Yeah, no paper.
Paperless.
Save the trees.
Yeah, save the trees. Yeah.
Recycle plastic.
Yeah, and that too. We've got everything covered. We're very environmentally friendly now, 100%.
Yeah, we got it covered.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, folks. Well, thank you so much. Have a blessed rest of the day. And Victor, I'm going to shoot over this so that you have something to rehearse there. Yeah.
Okay. Sure thing. Thanks, Claudia. I appreciate
Thanks, guys. Good
Y'all
night.
take care.
Thank you,
Tomorrow until tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yes.
10 o'clock.
All right.
10
Well,
o'clock
good night.
Bless
Good
you,
night here
Claudia.
from
Thank
the
you.
UK. Bye.
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 Bless you, Claudia. Thank you. Bye.
Bless you.